Hi Pisces, how's it going? We're here with a timeless reading for you. I hope that you're all doing well. First card that we have out is Eight of Swords. Okay, Eight of Swords, Five of Swords, Justice. Libra and Aries here, and Venus. Eight of Swords and Five of Swords is feeling like something's being set up where there's potentially like a confrontation that would be taking place. But starting with the Eight of Swords is feeling like not wanting to get involved in this, or not wanting to see this, or maybe like wanting to avoid this. See how these two cards are here? Where it feels like this, like a sparring type of energy here, where this one almost is with the blindfold, like I don't want to see that, I don't want to deal with that, like I don't want to have to fight. It can be that type of thing, or I don't want to have to resolve this. If this is something that's all going on within you and you're recognizing that, you can feel like there's a part of you that feels the need to do something, to address something, to square something away, but there can be another part of you that doesn't want to do that. Is this another person? Is there an antagonistic energy here? Is this just like all within you? You don't want to... I feel like this is something that's not going to go away and you have to face this, whatever it is, but it can be something that feels like if I enter into that arena, I'm going to have to participate. Having Justice here is about like making something right. It can also be about balancing, doing this in a way where there's a sense of balance, like rather than creating more separation, it's about the intention being to create harmony, but needing to address this, needing to face this in order to make that happen. Also too, having Libra here, there can be a tendency to want to avoid needing to address something or avoid a confrontation, Pisces. But then the Emperor is kind of feeling like this is something that needs to be taken on for maybe reasons that you feel are bigger than just yourself or bigger than just this moment. And it's also an energy that's going to feel capable of knowing what to do. And I'm also seeing the Empress be next to it. So you have the Emperor and the Empress together here. So this can be something where you're like, I wish that this weren't a problem right now. And so the part of me that wants to like not have to deal with this, like doesn't want to recognize what's going on here, sort of wants to avoid what's going on here. But then there's another part of me that feels like I have to deal with this. But there's a part of me that doesn't want to see this, or I don't want to deal with this. But I feel kind of like I have to figure this out. Like this has to be figured out. I'm not seeing anything you can't figure out. It seems like it's just a matter of like how willing you are to. Okay. Having King of Cups and having Temperance is about needing to get yourself into a more grounded state of mind in order to resolve this. This can be your own mental conflict that you're feeling, and for some of you it can be conflict with another person that's coming up. Five of Swords and Temperance is working with a part of you that may want to like make this into a black and white thing. It can be the part of you that wants to create sides here, like rather than figuring things out and working together, it can be like how do I win? It can also be working with somebody that's in that energy too, if you don't believe that to be yourself. So it's just going to depend on you and what you're dealing with here. I'm seeing Aries, and I'm also seeing Sagittarius, and I'm seeing Libra And we have Venus here too. And I'm also looking at the moon on the bottom of the deck. So yeah, maybe you're working with somebody that you feel like is like confrontational, or you feel like they have issues, but this can also be you working with that part of yourself as well, where maybe there's a part of you that gets riled up and you want to like do battle here, and then there's another part of you that's like, I don't know, this can be a way that anxiety is expressing itself within you too. Maybe that's also something as well. I do feel like you're working something out with yourself or with somebody else here. But it can be something that, to do it the right way versus maybe do it in a way that's easier, those can be the things that you're balancing. Because maybe there's one way that you could take care of this, but then you'd be like, that wasn't the right way to do it, versus another part of you that's like, this may be the more difficult way to do it, but it's the more correct way to do it, you would feel. But you're going to need to get grounded in order to do this, because if you're still feeling frazzled, it's going to be hard to be present and to be tuned in to the way you feel like is the right way to do this, to go about this. And to also be patient with yourself too. Yeah, looks like a conversation is going to be had. This can also be balanced problem solving that's happening. Okay. Something hurtful happened. I'm seeing this energy go over where Aries is. Looks like you need to address something that can feel uncomfortable here. I wonder too, for some of you, do you feel like someone was being antagonistic towards you? I kind of get that, and you may feel like a bit shut down about that, or you may be like kind of frazzled because of it, or like not want to have to deal with this. Or you could even be feeling stuck, like, how do I deal with this? Like, I do want to deal with it, but like, how do I? Because I'm feeling like I'm having a hard time sort of like facing this or addressing it. But I'm seeing again that like the first thing before you like taking action or doing anything is to just settle and ground your energy, to get yourself into a place where you feel present and grounded. Because I do see this thing is able to be worked out, but you could be working with somebody that you feel like is difficult. You could be working with an aspect of yourself that you feel like is difficult. But having Temperance here shows that there is a possibility of working things out. It just is going to take patience. It's going to take a sense of commitment to actually figuring things out. And Justice and King of Swords is about your intention here. What is your intention when you're addressing this? What is your intention when you're speaking? There's something going on here that may be difficult to talk about, where you could feel angry about being hurt, or you could feel like a type of way about whatever this is that happened, but needing to keep in mind with Justice and King of Swords, like handling this in a way that's diplomatic, in a way where you're trying to actually create a solution rather than to create a further problem here. And maybe that's on your mind too, and you go into it like that, but then you're like, but this other person, I feel like they're not in that space then, and it's about figuring out how to get into that space with this person. But yeah, I do feel a bit of an antagonistic energy here. That you may be working with, and it could feel like it's really trying your patience. Maybe you feel like it's bringing out that part of you too, like you just want to like match their energy here, but that's going to create a further like sever, it feels like, between the two of you. So having Justice and King of Swords is like, what are you actually trying to do here? What is your intention? Like, do you want to try to invest in a harmonious solution, or are you in a space where you're like, forget that, I'm just trying to show up and come out on top of this, and whatever happens with this other person, like I want to knock them down a peg. It's really going to depend on how you want to do this. Or you could avoid it altogether. You could be like, it's not a problem, when it really is a problem, you know? I do think that somebody may have been hurt and reacted accordingly, whether it was something that they perceived you did or whatever, but it feels like you tapping into the most pure Pisces nature, as Pisces in its very pure essence is an energy of healing and able to sort of absorb and neutralize wounded energies. And so this is something that you're very capable of being able to disarm others and put them at ease. And I'm seeing the star here, which feels like this part of your energy that's like, you want peace, like you want there to be a sense of community, harmony, for things to be working together, to be able to move forward. But it can feel like this is addressing maybe a sensitive spot within you, maybe within the other person, but feeling like this could be healing if that's your intention for it to be. Because you could feel like you're stuck in between. It can either be a win for your ego, or it can be a win for your soul within this, where you feel like, I know the right way to do this, it just may be the more difficult thing to do. But I also see that my gift in this situation would be to be able to enter into this with a healing energy, to be able to promote harmony, even if it's uncomfortable in this moment to address it, because I'm definitely seeing there be pain here. So there could have been some like type of aggression even with Aries and the Three of Swords, Emperor and Three of Swords. But it can be something that you feel like this really needs to be addressed, otherwise it's just there unchecked, and it can be something that's beginning to fester because of that. But there really is hope for healing here, and I think it really depends on how willing you are to make peace with this. Because I think too that you're gonna, Empress and the Star feels like your pure energy. When you show up in a way that feels empowering to you, it's like being able to embrace this aspect of healing that's like naturally ingrained within you. Again, like one of your gifts, because the gift of Pisces, one of them is healing. I'm also seeing Aquarius here too. You may have Aquarius placements. Feeling stuck as you continue to ground your energy, because this feels more like even though you could feel stuck in your head, I feel like this is more of an energetic and emotional thing, and that the symptom could be anxiety, or you feeling blocked, or you feeling like stuck or frozen, or having a difficult time addressing something or facing something. That there may be a part of you that like genuinely you really want to avoid this. But at the same time, I do sense that if this is something that you're willing to work with, this doesn't seem like it's going to be over like that. This seems like something that's going to need to be worked on. But you can feel like as much as you're working with this energy within another person, you're also working with that energy within you too. And so it's not just you doing favors for this other person, you're also like working to grow and heal internally for yourself as well as you work through this. I see too approaching this kind of like a really difficult level on a video game may be helpful for you, just framing it in a way where it's like this is definitely a challenge. It's not easy, giving yourself credit for what you're doing, and also being patient as you're like strategically figuring this out, and also keeping in mind what the grand plan is here. And this is for things to function properly. And if you keep entering into this space in a way where it's promoting dysfunction, it's just going to break further and further and further, you know? But there can also be this thing too where it's like, is this even possible to be healed? Like, is it even possible to move forward? Like, am I even supposed to be here doing this? And I think too that when you're really sitting within yourself and like dropping into your heart space, you know that it is. You know that this is the right situation for you. It's just about bringing your best to the table when you're able to. And keeping in mind the goal here. But I do think some big stuff is being addressed, and I do feel like when certain wounds are brought up, there can be a feeling of like aggression about it, of needing to protect oneself or of getting too intense, like those types of things where it can be an energy that's difficult to disarm. Like I feel that specifically around this Aries energy, where there can be this like getting riled up and feeling like now a fight needs to happen, you know, but in a very aggressive way that can feel like not what you want, reflective of a relationship that you're in. So it's about working with that energy. Communication is going to be really important. King of Swords is in the middle of this. So it feels like communicating on both sides of what's going on, and also knowing that you're going to enter into this most effectively and best the more grounded you are. And I'm seeing that be the first step here of what to do and how to work with this, because I feel like you're gonna anchor the energy. Like if you're working with a really fiery, intense energy that's very confrontational, you coming up in a way where you're like holding the space in the like opposite anchor, where there's a sense of like calm, soothing, like even absorbing that energy, it's really gonna help work this out. You could even feel too like with your partner, it's kind of like, well, I'm saying partner, but it can really be whoever this is that you're working with. Even if you're just seeing this as being something going on within you, you can feel like these energies are like an opposite attracts kind of energy. And so not matching energy is going to be important, because if you just match the dysfunctional energy or the wounded energy, it's just going to create more of that. So it feels like holding the space on the opposite end is really going to be the way to get this to functionally work together. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.